Welcome back. This is attorney Thomas Burton, and I wanted to do another video in my series on the Paycheck Protection Program application, specifically the new Paycheck Protection Program loan forgiveness application that came out from US Treasury a week or two ago. And US Treasury released it, but I've been so busy I haven't gotten back to this video series. Thankfully, with the reopening, I hope you're all doing well. People are getting out and about, enjoying the weather. But for many people who applied for the Paycheck Protection Program loan, you're going to be nearing the end of your 8-week covered period, either now or in the next couple of weeks. And after that ends, you can begin preparing and submitting this loan forgiveness application. So the application itself is about 11 pages here, and it's not super easy. In fact, I think the application for the loan, although that was complicated and we had all those videos going through it, was almost simpler than the forgiveness, and that sort of makes sense with the government. But the first 2 pages are instructions, and then you'll see the second 2, they look similar to the loan application, where you're gonna put in the info and then you gotta initial all these statements there. So make sure your application's correct before you submit it to the government, because there are penalties for fraud or for misstating something. And then you sign a date at the bottom. Now, the other reason I wanted to create this video today is I was reading this interview with Mark Cuban of the Dallas Mavericks and the entrepreneur, and he and this bank CEO created this automated tool to help small businesses automate this PPP loan forgiveness application, because he said he took a look at it and saw how complicated it was. So I'm going to because with the application, it's not just the application, they want attached worksheets and documentation. So I'm going to put a link in this video to that tool they created. Now, I didn't create it, they created it, so you can read all the disclaimers about using it, but it's intended primarily for a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, self-employed individual, like a lot of us who don't have a team of a finance department, a team of accountants to put together all this payroll loan documentation. So when you go to submit this loan forgiveness application, you do it directly to your lender, but you use the form US Treasury created. And your lender is going to ask for attachments. And they're also in the instructions here what you need to submit, but follow what your lender asks if they ask for something specific. But in general, they want to get payroll records to show what you paid for payroll costs, any cost paid for retirement, plans for employees' health insurance, taxes, and then receipts, canceled checks, bank statements to show what you spent the money on for things like rent and utilities. So if you kept canceled checks, that's good. If you did it all in one bank account, like I recommended a few videos ago, you can print out that ledger and provide it. And then what you want to do is complete the application, sign it, and add all those attachments to the application and submit it to your lender. Then your lender, by law, has 60 days to respond to your request for forgiveness, after which they have to respond yes or no. So if you're nearing the end of your 8-week covered period, you want to get that forgiveness application in, and then it starts the clock on your lender to provide you with an answer. Now, also note, since my last video, there's been a bill passed by Congress, signed by the president. They relaxed some of the rules on the PPP program. So if you were already operating under the old rules, you may have already done it with that 75% allocation to payroll, and that's fine, but it looks like they're bringing it down to 60%, allowing you to use a little more of the funds on other covered expenses, and the rationale was this was for people with higher overhead. So check out those rules on Treasury website if you still have time to adjust how you're doing it. Otherwise, if you operated under the 75% rule we were all told for payroll in the beginning, you'll be fine with that. If you're at the end of your 8-week period, you can start working on this fun PPP loan forgiveness application. So again, check out the link to the official app from US Treasury, and then I'll put the link to the automated tool from Mark Cuban in this video as well. I ran through it. I found it pretty good. It helps you fill in the right blanks. It's more like a tax software asking you questions, but you want to verify when you get all the information on that PDF that it's the right numbers before you sign and submit to your lender. So that's all for now. I hope you're all doing well. Stay safe, be well, and we'll see you next time.